Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
One of my favorite guests. I love this lady. I really do. She's great on Fox News. She's amazing with me. She's worked for 4 presidents in her lifetime, including most recently President Trump. She's one of my most enthusiastic supporters in this potential endeavor to run for mayor. It's my dear friend KT McFarland, and I did it, KT. I didn't want to, but I couldn't control myself. Late last night, coming home from the city after a late TV appearance, I texted President Trump and asked him if I can come to the game and be with him Monday night in the box. I know it's embarrassing. I know it is, but I took a shot. What can I tell you?
Did he get right back to you? He doesn't go to bed until about 2 in the morning.
I know. That's why I figured I'd text him about 11 o'clock. And he texts me often, like you said, around midnight. He texts a lot of people we both know at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But he did not get back to me.
I've been on the receiving end of those.
Yeah, but he didn't get back to me, so odds are I'm not going to be there. But I had to give it a shot, right, KT?
Come on. He probably has to ask Mr. Dolan, don't you think?
Yes, it's exactly what I said this morning. Like, if he has a rally, he asks it to speak. That's his deal. But you're right. This is Dolan's building. Dolan invited him. But if, like, Bruce Blakeman is coming, if Trump says, hey, Bruce, take Sid with you, I don't think Dolan's going to say no, but I don't know. It's not going to happen. I couldn't control myself. So.
I think you should. Well, we'll see what he says. President Trump, as you know, he's a very gracious man. And he's very good about making sure other people get included in things. And it's not all about him, even though that's the reputation he has. But I'm sure he probably didn't want to text Dolan at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's probably going to wait. Yeah. And he's probably got to talk to his Secret Service guys. Although, when you think about the Secret Service issues, what was the last game that the Knicks played at Madison Square Garden where there were like 150,000 people in the streets?
Yes.
With big jumbotrons?
Yeah.
Out on the street.
I know, it's a mess.
What a nightmare. Yeah.
No, it's a mess. I mean, forgetting about the game they played there, when they're playing on the road in San Antonio tonight and the win on Wednesday, they still sell out the Garden. They actually show the game in Madison Square Garden, so the Knicks are in Texas, but you can go to the Garden and watch the game, and when they win, the party spills out to the streets. And I got to tell you, KT, I don't like what I'm seeing. A lot of arrests after the Game 1 win, a bunch of kids all drugged up and drunk that they don't watch the Knicks in November. They don't watch the Knicks in December. Just like Mom Donnie, he's not watching the Knicks and the Trailblazers like I am in November. Kathy Hochul doesn't watch a Knick game all year, but now everybody is enjoying this. It's New York. It's our team, even though they don't root for the team all year long, and they're getting out of control. I don't want this city to look like Detroit after the Pistons won. They set the city on fire. Or Los Angeles after the Lakers won. They set that city on fire. I don't want us to look like that because if we win, KT, we are looking at a very real possibility of 3 million or more Canyon of Heroes. That could be a mess.
Well, you know what? What has it been, 37 years?
Since we won?
How many?
53 years. 53.
Oh, no, really? But how many years have we got to the finals?
Oh, that would be 27 years, yes.
27, yeah, because I've got a 35-year-old son, and he's been sleeping in a Knicks T-shirt, a Knicks shirt jersey since he was 5 years old. And I know that I've been buying those Knicks jerseys for at least 20-some years.
I love it. I love it. I do want to move to Iran for a second. You and I have these great conversations every week, and I've been pretty steadfast when I keep saying to you, I think we're stuck. I think we're not winning. I think we're in a bad spot. And, more and more people are starting to sound like me in the media. I did see General Jack Keane this morning,
Yeah.
And he said, there's not going to be a deal with Iran. There's not going to be a deal. Write it down now because A, they cheat. They never comply. B, they're not going to agree to a bunch of the things that the president wants. C, we can't give them any money because they've proven you do that. They just fund terror proxies. And so he was flat. There's not going to be a deal with Iran. I've been saying that really, as you know, for the better part of 5 or 6 weeks. And I think that's starting to become more of the conventional wisdom. What do you think?
Yes, I think you're right that they'll cheat, that you can't trust them. But expand your periscope for a bit and look at the bigger region. What Trump's doing behind the scenes, and this is what nobody's really focused on, he's rearranging the architecture of the Middle East. It's not just about Iran and Israel. It's about all the Gulf Arab countries. It's about the stands, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Tajikistan. It's a bigger region in the same way that the Gaza peace accords and the Gaza peace plan involved not just the countries in the region, but countries as far away as Pakistan. So I think what he's looking to do now is that the Gulf Arabs are saying to him, look, if you attack, we'd like it. We'd love Iran and the regime washed off the face of the earth, but we don't want this. We don't want this to become a bigger conflict that draws us in. So I think what Trump is doing is lining up all of the Gulf Arabs. He's already got UAE, he's already got Bahrain, but he wants to get Saudi Arabia. He wants to get Kuwait. Remember, they've just bombed Kuwait yesterday. So Kuwait, which has been sitting on the fence, well, now they're getting bombed by the Iranians. So where are they going to jump? They're going to jump to us. And the bigger picture of this is an alliance that is an expanded Abraham Accords alliance, which is Israel, the United States, the Gulf Arab countries, all of the Gulf Arab countries, even other countries, Muslim countries beyond the Gulf region. And that means that there's a peace that they all recognize each other, which a lot of those countries don't yet recognize Israel officially, but then they all trade. And the Abraham Accords, the beauty of the Abraham Accords is they started out as a trading deal, an economic deal, a commercial deal, a trade deal between Israel and some of the Gulf Arab countries. And it was wildly successful. They all know, everybody in the region knows how successful that has been, especially for the UAE. So if that can be expanded to all these other countries in a bigger picture, that trading relationship then becomes a security relationship. I mean, if you and I had this conversation a year ago, and I said, "Oh, Sid, guess what? They're going to be Israeli soldiers in the UAE operating the Iron Dome to protect the Gulf Arabs."
True.
From Iran, we would have laughed.
Yep.
So no, there'll never be that alliance. But I think that's where President Trump is looking. He always thinks big, and he always thinks bigger than just the immediate issue. I think that's why he hasn't jumped in with a military response. He can always do the military response, but I think he wants to get all those other guys on board first.
I agree. And I had Miranda Devine on this show yesterday, and she was talking about her conversation, her terrific podcast, Pod Force One with Trump. Yeah, you saw that. And
great interview with him, too.
It was great. And specifically the content about the Trump Bibi dust-up, where Trump said, "Are you up and crazy, baby? This is why people hate you. This is why. What are you doing? You're killing me here." And, I never thought for a second that he didn't say that, because I know for a fact, and I'm going to see Bibi. Yeah, of course. I'm going to see Bibi in 2 weeks in Israel.
They get a little spicy with each
right,
other.
that's the point. The media wants you to believe that because Trump cursed them out, and he did, trust me, he did, because he cursed them out, they don't like each other, the U.S. is sick of Israel. It's nonsense, right?
It's nonsense. I mean, I've been in the Oval Office with him when he has been a little spicy, shall we say, with other leaders. He only does that with leaders he thinks well of.
True.
He doesn't say that. He doesn't say to some of the ones that he may disparage otherwise. He doesn't say to them in spicy language the kind of stuff that he said to Bibi. And he certainly doesn't say it to leaders who has a more formal relationship. He's not going to say that to the Chinese president.
No.
Because it's not a relationship that is like that.
Right.
He's not going to say that to Putin, but he can say it to Bibi, and Bibi probably gives back as good as he gets.
Oh, he does. He would say it to Zelensky. He did say yesterday that it would be in the best interest of Putin and Zelensky to actually meet each other. You see that happening?
Yeah.
You do? You think they will?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you about Cuba. One of our local congresswomen, she's terrific, out of Staten Island and Brooklyn, Nicole Maliotakis.
Oh, yeah, she is awesome, yeah.
And she's part Cuban, as you know, KT. So she's furious because you remember when Chris Van Hollen went to visit the alleged gang member? Remember that? In El Salvador? Yeah. So these Democrats go down to Cuba and they treat these people who are terrible people. They're destroying the everyday Cuban. They treat them like they're kings, like they're royalty. Long story short, what's going to happen with Cuba?
I think that the deals are already in place. As President Trump said, we want to finish the Iran thing, and then we're going to go on our way back. The Armada is going to go to Cuba. The leaders of Cuba, the guys who are nominally running things, the corrupt, incompetent communists, if they don't leave, they get snatched and be charged for many crimes. But the next level down, the younger people, the people that Marco Rubio is talking to on a regular basis, the deal's there. There are already people eyeing how they can move, especially Cuban Americans are looking to how can I go back to Cuba? I'd like to start businesses. I want to invest. I want to do trade. The people of Cuba want that to happen. It's just these sort of old corrupt, it's like the final days of the Soviet Union, those old corrupt communists that are incompetent and they don't know how to stand out of their way. So they either have the Maduro solution or they, find a nice Swiss bank account somewhere.